The Golden Age of Hollywood, 1920s, 1950s, was marked by cinematic brilliance, but also by numerous scandals involving its stars. While not all of these figures were necessarily the most corrupt, many were embroiled in controversies that tarnished their legacies. Here's an overview of some of the most notorious actors and the scandals that defined their careers. Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle was one of the most popular comedic actors of the silent film era, known for his physical comedy and box office success. However, his career came crashing down in 1921 after he was accused of the manslaughter of actress Virginia Rappe, who died following a wild party in his hotel suite. The media sensationalized the case, painting Arbuckle as a symbol of Hollywood excess and moral decay. Although he was eventually acquitted after 3 trials, one ending in a hung jury and the last delivering a rare apology from the jury, the damage to his reputation was irreversible. The scandal prompted public outrage, and studios quickly distanced themselves from him. The Hays Office, Hollywood's self-censorship body, banned him from working in the industry, effectively ending his career at its peak. Despite later attempts at a comeback, Arbuckle never regained his former stardom, and his legacy remains clouded by the controversy. Errol Flynn, one of Hollywood's most iconic swashbuckling stars, was known for his charm, good looks, and adventurous on-screen persona. However, in 1943, his career and reputation were severely tested when he was charged with statutory rape involving 2 underage girls. The trial became a media spectacle, drawing national attention and casting a long shadow over Flynn's public image. Though he was ultimately acquitted, the accusations fueled rumors about his personal life and wild lifestyle, reinforcing his already controversial reputation. The trial didn't completely derail his career. Flynn continued to work in films, but the stain on his image as a romantic hero lingered. Some believe his off-screen behavior mirrored the reckless characters he played, while others argue he was a scapegoat of the era's shifting moral climate. Regardless, the scandal marked a turning point in Flynn's life and remains one of the most infamous episodes of Golden Age Hollywood. Jean Harlow, often called the blonde bombshell, was one of the brightest stars of 1930s Hollywood. Her career was marked by dazzling success, but also by personal tragedy that haunted her public image. The most infamous incident was the mysterious death of her second husband, MGM executive Paul Byrne, just 2 months after their wedding in 1932. Byrne was found dead from a gunshot wound in their home, and while it was officially ruled a suicide, rumors of foul play and cover-ups quickly spread. Some speculated it was murder, possibly linked to a former lover or deeper Hollywood secrets. MGM worked aggressively to protect Harlow's reputation, but the scandal clung to her, adding to her cursed star mystique. Despite this, she remained a beloved figure until her untimely death at age 26. Her short life, shadowed by mystery and gossip, became part of the enduring legend of old Hollywood. Victor Killian was a talented character actor who appeared in numerous films and television shows throughout the 1930s and 1940s. However, his career came to a halt during the 1950s when he was blacklisted in Hollywood for alleged communist sympathies. This was during the height of the McCarthy era, a time when fear of communism led to widespread paranoia and the targeting of individuals in the entertainment industry. Killian, like many others, was summoned before the House Un-American Activities Committee, WAC, and refused to cooperate by naming names, which resulted in his professional exile. Although he was never formally charged with any crime, the mere suspicion of leftist leanings was enough to end his career. He eventually returned to acting in the 1970s, but the blacklist had already taken a significant toll. Killian's story reflects the dangerous mix of politics and fear that defined Hollywood's darkest chapter of censorship. Eddie Mannix was a high-ranking executive at MGM during Hollywood's golden age, but his legacy is steeped in secrecy and scandal. Known as a fixer, Mannix's job was to protect the studio's image at all costs, often by covering up the personal troubles of its stars. From arranging hush-money payouts to manipulating the media, he helped bury scandals that could have destroyed careers. One of the most controversial stories tied to Mannix involves the mysterious 1959 death of actor George Reeves, best known for playing Superman. Though ruled a suicide, many believe Mannix may have been involved, possibly due to Reeves' affair with Mannix's wife, Toni. While nothing was ever proven, the rumors added to Mannix's reputation as someone with dark connections and a willingness to do whatever was necessary to keep MGM stars, and secrets, under control. His influence highlights the studio system's intense control over its actors during that era. Charlie Chaplin, one of the most iconic figures of the golden age of Hollywood, became embroiled in political controversy due to his outspoken political activism. As a vocal critic of fascism and capitalism, Chaplin was accused of being a communist sympathizer during the Red Scare of the 1940s. His political beliefs, along with his highly visible role in Hollywood, led to heightened scrutiny by the U.S. government. In 1952, while Chaplin was in England for a film premiere, the U.S. government revoked his re-entry visa, effectively exiling him. Though Chaplin denied any formal ties to communism, the accusations and his political stance caused significant damage to his career in America. Despite this, Chaplin continued to work internationally, creating some of his most beloved works in the latter part of his career, including Limelight and A King in New York. Loretta Young's affair with Clark Gable is one of Hollywood's most famous scandals. In the early 1930s, Young and Gable began a secret relationship while filming The Call of the Wild. Despite being married to other people at the time, their affair led to Young's unexpected pregnancy. At the time, pregnancy outside of marriage was considered a career-ender for a star, so Young went to great lengths to keep the situation private. She later gave birth to their daughter, Judy, but kept her hidden for several years. Young even went so far as to adopt her own daughter publicly, denying Gable's involvement in her life. The truth remained hidden for many years until Judy, the child of this scandal, publicly revealed the details decades later. This secret affair and the cover-up of their daughter's parentage became one of Hollywood's most famous, controversial stories. Rita Hayworth's personal life was marked by controversy and tumult, much of which overshadowed her career. Known for her iconic beauty and glamorous roles in films like Gilda, Hayworth experienced multiple high-profile divorces, including marriages to Hollywood mogul Prince Ali Khan and actor Orson Welles. These relationships often ended in public scandal, drawing attention away from her career. Hayworth also struggled with alcoholism, which took a toll on both her personal life and professional opportunities. Her battle with addiction was largely kept out of the public eye until later in life, when it became more widely known. Despite her struggles, Hayworth remained a beloved star, and her legacy as one of the Golden Age's greatest actresses endures. However, her personal difficulties, including her relationships and alcoholism, added layers of complexity to the public's perception of her as a Hollywood icon. Judy Garland, one of the most beloved stars of Hollywood's Golden Age, faced numerous personal and professional struggles, many of which were exacerbated by the studio system. As a young actress, Garland was pushed to the limits by MGM, who controlled her image and career. She was subjected to harsh treatment, with the studio forcing her to take amphetamines to lose weight and barbiturates to help her sleep, leading to lifelong battles with addiction. Her struggles with substance abuse were well documented and contributed to her professional setbacks. Garland's tumultuous personal life, including multiple marriages and financial instability, added to her difficulties. Despite these challenges, she remained a celebrated talent, best known for her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. However, her tragic decline, marked by erratic behavior and struggles to find stable work, serves as a poignant reminder of the harsh realities faced by many Hollywood stars during this era. Marilyn Monroe, one of the most iconic stars in Hollywood history, led a life marked by personal turmoil and external manipulation. Her career was constantly overshadowed by her struggles with mental health, addiction, and the pressure of maintaining her public image. Monroe was prescribed medication throughout much of her life, leading to a dependency on barbiturates and alcohol. She often appeared erratic and unpredictable on set, which affected her relationships with directors and producers. Behind the glitz and glamour, Monroe was frequently controlled by powerful men in Hollywood, including studio heads, and her numerous high-profile relationships with figures such as Joe DiMaggio, Arthur Miller, and even rumored affairs with John F. Kennedy. These relationships further complicated her personal life, as she was often treated as an object rather than an independent woman. Her mental health struggles, exacerbated by the constant scrutiny of the press and Hollywood's unrealistic beauty standards, made her vulnerable. Monroe's tragic death in 1962, ruled as a probable overdose, added to the mystique surrounding her life and career. Despite these challenges, Monroe's legacy as a talented actress, particularly in films like Some Like It Hot and The 7-Year Itch, endures, cementing her place as a symbol of both beauty and tragedy in Hollywood's Golden Age. Bette Davis, one of the greatest actresses of the Golden Age of Hollywood, was known not only for her incredible talent but also for her fiery temperament and notorious conflicts. Davis's relationships with studio heads were often contentious. She famously fought against the studio system's control over her career, leading to her eventual departure from Warner Brothers. Her defiance earned her both admiration and resentment within the industry. One of the most publicized aspects of her career was her bitter rivalry with Joan Crawford, which became legendary in Hollywood. Their animosity peaked during the filming of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962, where both actresses, in their later years, engaged in a fierce battle for the spotlight. The behind-the-scenes drama between them was fueled by a mix of personal and professional rivalry, with both actresses constantly trying to outdo each other in every scene. Despite the conflicts, Davis's legacy as an actress remains intact, with iconic performances in films such as All About Eve and Jezebel. Her fierce independence, combined with her incredible behind the glitz and glamour, Monroe was frequently controlled by powerful men in Hollywood, including studio heads, and her numerous high-profile relationships with figures such as Joe DiMaggio, Arthur Miller, and even rumored affairs with John F. Kennedy. These relationships further complicated her personal life, as she was often treated as an object rather than an independent woman. Her mental health struggles, exacerbated by the constant scrutiny of the press and Hollywood's unrealistic beauty standards, made her vulnerable. Monroe's tragic death in 1962, ruled as a probable overdose, added to the mystique surrounding her life and career. Despite these challenges, Monroe's legacy as a talented actress, particularly in films like Some Like It Hot and The 7-Year Itch, endures, cementing her place as a symbol of both beauty and tragedy in Hollywood's golden age. James Dean, the enigmatic star of the 1950s, became an icon despite his brief career, which was marked by rebellion, personal struggles, and tragedy. Known for his roles in Rebel Without a Cause, East of Eden, and Giant, Dean embodied the spirit of youthful defiance, which resonated with a generation. However, his personal life was equally tumultuous. Dean was often described as intensely private and, at times, unpredictable. He battled with a deep sense of isolation and had complex relationships, including rumored romances with both men and women. Dean's rebellion was not limited to his on-screen persona. He frequently clashed with directors and the Hollywood studio system, which he found stifling. His passion for fast cars also played a significant role in his life. Tragically, in 1955, Dean's life was cut short at the age of 24 in a car accident while driving his Porsche 550 Spider. His death, while still in the prime of his career, only amplified his mystique and cemented his status as a cultural icon. Though his career was tragically short, James Dean's legacy as a symbol of youth, rebellion, and tragedy in Hollywood endures, leaving behind a lasting impact on cinema and pop culture.